If you're like many people in academic research, your world's probably filled with new ideas, exciting research, and sometimes a groundbreaking discovery or invention. It may be an engineering product or a technique, a medication, or an improvement to an existing method or device. But have you ever wondered what to do next? Well, the first thing you may want to do is publish your idea or present it to your peers. But hold on. You also want to commercialize your invention, bringing it to the real world. So before you publish, in fact, as soon as you think you're into a good idea, the first thing to do is say hello to the Technology Transfer Office. Your TTO's mission is to help you transfer your idea from inside your research laboratory to the world beyond, where society can put it to use. How do you do that? Well, first, to make the most of your invention and to provide the greatest benefit to the public, you may need to obtain a patent or know how to manage the copyright of your software. A patent or other protection for your invention can help you attract sponsors interested in funding more of your research, or to license your idea to companies that want to turn it into a product or service people can use, or to start your own company around your invention. Our course will give you the basics of patents and copyrighted software so that you can take steps to protect your invention. We'll also discuss licensing and how you might begin to start your own company. This will make your discussions with your TTO more effective. The sooner you talk about your idea with your TTO, even if you're still developing it, the sooner you'll get the process started. Your TTO is there to help you bring your invention into reality. So say hello to the TTO, where together you can transfer your technology to the world. You are an academic researcher or somebody interested in bringing the results of academic research into the real world as products and services. The objective of this course is to teach you about intellectual property, protecting your invention either with patents or with copyrighted software, to provide an incentive for investment in your technology so that it can be developed into something useful. We know as an academic researcher that publication is very important to you. And one of the things we will teach you is how to publish your technology, but also to protect it with intellectual property, primarily by doing the patenting before you do the publishing. Your Technology Transfer Office is the place to help you do that. And our objective is to give you the basics of patents and copyrights so that you can work with your TTO more effectively. When you may decide, after you have protected your intellectual property, that you'd like to work with a large company who may sponsor more of your research to bring it further along before taking it out into the real world. Or it may be better to license it to a company directly without further internal research. Or you may want to start a company yourself to help bring your technology out into use in the world. If you know a little bit about patents and copyrights, you'll be able to work more effectively with your TTO, who really are there to help you do it. So, when you come up with a new idea, maybe even before it's ready for publication, talk to your TTO, map out a strategy. We hope this course will help you do it more effectively. Today we have Danny Dardani from the Technology Licensing Office at MIT. Danny has primarily been in charge of software commercialization, but he's also been a teacher of tech transfer both at a nearby university and around the world. My name is Lita Nelson. I was director of the Technology Licensing Office at MIT for almost 30 years. I'm now retired, but I'm working as a consultant with many universities, again, in many countries. And in each place it's different, but we learn from each other. This course is primarily to teach the basics of intellectual property of the types that apply to academic researchers, and that means patents and copyrights for software. We're also going to talk about license agreements, that is, how ownership of technology is transferred from one to another entity, how to work with companies, and how to get started making your own company if that's how you choose to commercialize your research. The course is primarily intended for academic researchers. That means graduate students, postdocs, even technicians, and particularly for faculty who have not worked with their technology transfer office before. It assumes that you know what goes on in a laboratory, but may not know anything about commercialization of technology. Technology transfer is where we take the results of academic research that are inventions that could be useful in the real world. This could be new medicines, it could be new process engineering, it could be new software for controlling an automobile, for example. The tech transfer works with the inventors, who of course could be grad students, technicians, postdocs, professors, and helps protect their technology through patenting and copyright, and then works with them to establish partnerships with industry, big companies, or maybe investors in new companies, so that the companies can develop the technology and bring it out into the world.
What will this course teach them?
This course will teach you a number of things. First, it will teach you the basics of patents and copyrights and how to protect your technology based on the copyright and patent law. It will also teach you what a license agreement is, how your invention is transferred to a company that will invest in doing something with it. It will teach you such things as fields of use, royalties, milestones, other terms that are often used in license agreements. And then finally, if you're interested in starting a company, it will give you just the basics of getting started with your technology transfer office to form a company and get investors to help move it forward. I'm coming from a long career in technology licensing, technology transfer, with the MIT Technology Licensing Office, where I was director for over 25 years. Our bias at MIT, and my bias personally, is that the objective of tech transfer is to bring technology to the public, not primarily to make money. And the reason we want to bring it to the public is they fund much of the research that faculty and students perform, and they should get the benefit of it. In addition, the new companies that are often formed out of technology transfer from academia can contribute substantially to new jobs and further economic development in your neighborhood. What will you get out of this course if you're interested in starting a company? You'll understand more about patents. If it's software, you'll understand more about copyrights. both of which are critical to getting investment in new companies. You will learn what the elements of a license agreement are, so that the relationship between the owners of the intellectual property and the investors and employees of the company are well defined. And we hope also that we can help steer you towards ways in which you can initiate and develop your company. Universities share their revenue, usually called royalties, with inventors. The formula is different from university to university. Usually in the US, the inventors will get somewhere around a quarter to a third of the royalties that the university gets, and maybe more in some if the amount is very small, because some universities share more of the initial small amounts. But that doesn't mean that the university is going to take a third of your company. You own the company. The university will make a deal with your company, which may involve, in the US anyway, a small amount of equity in the company, some royalties on sales, and some fees. But you will own most of it. And by the way, Danny, that's not true in many countries, so we're going to have to keep referring to the US, the US, the US. Well, in my experience, both in the US and probably I've been in somewhere around 25 different countries, almost all universities are interested in having their technology be developed and transferred out in the real world. Some provide a great deal of support, even money, but others are passive and leave it to the inventors, if they want to start a company, to do it on their own. In either case, understanding patents, copyrights, university ownership policies, which will also be included in this course, will be helpful to you in getting started.